Invite our respected Professor Dr. Doneti Sivaji to deliver the lecture. Sir, we warmly welcome you to share your insights and wisdom on the life and philosophy of Mahatma Gandhiji.
Very good afternoon to all of you, and a warm welcome to you for this seminar lecture on why does Gandhi matters today. It's a very relevant topic, and it's also very important topic. All the students need to know about Gandhiji and about his ideas and about his methods, where he experimented throughout his life and taught a lesson to the humanity. Then he became Mahatma. Mahatma means a great soul. Today, we are in the age of AI technology, and at the same time, we are in the age of a big disturbance. One side, it could be seen the technological advancements. The other side, it could also be seen the deterioration of social values, human values. Here, that the entire world comes into the hand in the form of mobile. The important thing, immorality have been just parading like anything in the human society. Intolerance have been reaching its heights nowadays. So that's what I told you. One side, technology have been developing rapidly, the technology, but at the same time, the deterioration of human values and intolerance also getting the equal importance need to be discussed. And another important thing, nowadays if you look at the world news, there are many illegal immigration problems. In Russia, there is a problem. In Ukraine, there is a problem. Israel, there is a problem. Australia, there is a problem. In England, you see, if you look at the world, in somehow the other, all the nations are facing problems. When it comes to the India also have been facing the problem of terrorism. Recently, you know, that terrorist act have taken place in India, in the Kashmir Valley. The entire world have been shocked by that violent act. In such conditions we are living now. So, in these conditions, it is indeed very important and significant to know about Mahatma Gandhiji. And at the same time, in other way, there is a great environmental destruction also is going on. And everywhere, nobody is taking care about the environmental protection measures. It also give a bad effect for the future coming generations. So in this aspect, that now you see, you look at the other end, one side advancements, the other side destructive activities have been taking place in and around us. So this is what, and now another important aspect could be seen that the world have been conditioned by the geopolitics, trade wars, no social harmony, no global harmony taking place now. Everywhere antagonism, everywhere enmity, everywhere you see distrust have been developing in this present society. So at this juncture, it is indeed, and it is also significant to learn about Mahatma Gandhi. Why Mahatma? A great soul. Why? Because he stood his entire life for humanity. He gave much importance to promote human values. He gave much importance to protect the environment. He gave much importance in his life to promote the compassion, love in the society. That's what we need to know about Gandhi. And now everywhere violence, everywhere destruction, where the man who stood against these two important elements in supporting for giving everlasting secure life to the humanity is Mahatma Gandhi. So let us come to know, he born in 1869 in Gujarat, and he born in the family, conservative family. He belongs to the Banya caste, and after that he studied in London. He studied barrister, and after completing his barrister degree, he was invited to South Africa to practice his law there itself by a Muslim merchant. Then he went to South Africa for 1 or 2 years. But the circumstances made him to stay there over 25 years. Think about himself. He went to South Africa on contract basis for 1 or 2 years. But he stayed there 25 years over there. So without having any strong reason, he could not stay over there. So this 25 years life, spending the 25 years life means it's not an easy thing. But how come he was able to stay there in South Africa such a long time? What made him to stay 25 years in South Africa? That we will study. And from South Africa itself only. Let me tell you that in South Africa, in those days, that the South Africa was under colonial rule, ruled by British colonial masters. There in South Africa, there was a discrimination. There was an apartheid. State-sponsored discrimination, that can be called as an apartheid, have taken place in South Africa. So means the black people cannot claim any rights, but white people can claim all the rights. I tell you, there are separate footpaths, separate hotels, separate temples, churches, and separate pathways to walk around for blacks. They should not come to the church where the white people will go. They should not walk on the footpath where the white people walk. Apartheid, discrimination have been taking place in South Africa. At this juncture, Gandhi went to South Africa. He has seen the racial discrimination. He was also experienced with that racial discrimination. Once he purchased a ticket in a first class compartment, where the ticket inspector not allowed him to get into that first class railway compartment. There was an argument taken place between ticket inspector and the Gandhi, but at last the ticket inspector threw Gandhi out of that compartment. Gandhi argued with him that I purchased a first class ticket. Why don't you allow me to travel in this first class compartment? Then the ticket inspector replied that you are a colored man. You are not allowed to travel in the first class compartment, though you purchased a first class compartment ticket. You see, this is where it hurted the Gandhi. It touched the Gandhi. In India, their family have their own social respect, social status, since he came from the Banya caste, so he has his own respect. But where first time he experienced the racial apartheid by the colonial masters in South Africa. So this incident, what happened, forced him to think about the problem where all Indians have been facing. Not only Gandhiji, all the Indians have been facing the same kind of discrimination in South Africa. Then Gandhi wanted to retaliate to this kind of discrimination acts taken by the colonial masters. And he decided to fight against the government order where it is differentiating, discriminating the white people and the black people. Then he came outside and he started his unique method of satyagraha against this racial discrimination. That satyagraha, there he himself have invented a method to fight against the discrimination. A method to fight to get back their social justice, social rights, economic rights in all aspects. So fighting with the spirit of truth. Satyagraha means you fight with the spirit of truth, where he believed in truth. He advocated the humanity. Look at the picture here. Gandhi thrown from the railway compartment. He launched a movement against this discrimination. He brought all the government orders publicly, openly, in front of everybody. He started tearing that papers and showing his dissent against that order. And he also taught the same method to all the people. Then everybody have started tearing that government order. It is an act that their dissent against this kind of apartheid, racial discriminative acts. That is what he have done. Not only this thing, he also have done a march. March means, you see, first he walked, then the followers will come and they will do a march on the where the roads are not allowed to walk by these black people. There Gandhi with a mob, with a lot of people, he marched on that roads. Even the police beating without giving any kind of resistance, they bore all that beatings, but they carry forward their march, they carry forward their satyagraha, they carry forward their dissent against the apartheid, against the racial discrimination in South Africa. He went for a contract, to do a contract job as a lawyer. Instead of doing a lawyer job, he was involving in all these struggles and movements against the racial discrimination. Was it necessary to him? It's no need. But in his heart, there is a human being. Universal human being is there. So that's what he reacted. His actions, his movements resonated in India also. At that time in India also, there was a movement going against the colonial government. Same government. South Africa was under the control of British. India was under the control of India was also a colony for the Britishers. South Africa was also a colony for the British. So whatever things, movements have been going on in South Africa, that acts have been resonating in India. Then Gandhiji became a popular even in India also. All the leaders acknowledged his method, way of handling the racial discrimination, apartheid, or in all respects. He became a respected man in India. Okay, but at the age of 46, in 1916, he came to India. Then after coming to India, he founded one ashrama and he wanted to take a rest in ashrama. He wanted to run the ashrama and he wanted to live his life from that time onwards in that ashrama. But he wanted to lead a spiritual life. But the issue came again to him about the peasants' problems. Champaran is a place in Bihar. There, the British imperialists, they were torturing the Indian peasants. They were forcing the Indian peasants to sell their indigo crops to the Britishers only at the low costs. They were trying to exploit the farmers from the Champaran village. And all the Champaran village farmers, they were in deep trouble that they were cultivating, but they are unable to get the returns. Always they were facing the indebted problems. But the Britishers, they are not bothering about their problem, they are not showing any concern about their problem, and they are not caring about themselves, always they try to focus on extracting the crops which have been cultivated by our Indian farmers in Champaran. That issue came to Gandhi, Mahatma. He took that thing very seriously and he went to Champaran and he again started a movement, Satyagraha. Then immediately that colonial masters, scared about the Gandhi's act of Satyagraha, and immediately they came down and they solved the problem and they announced the justified concerns over the farmers just because of Gandhi. They were so scared, but Gandhi, he did not threaten them. He did not give any warning to the Britishers. Britishers have a lot of force. They are the masters, they are the rulers. Gandhi, just an ordinary man. But Britishers have so scared about Gandhi's act of Satyagraha. That is, he made Satyagraha as a weapon to fight against the British colonial domination, British colonial exploitation. This is what the Gandhi have done in Champaran movement. In 1916 it have taken place. Then after 1916, another problem we have taken Kheda movement. The same laborers problem, wage problem. In India, those who are working in British factories, those who are working with the British industries, they are getting less wages. They are paid very less amount of money. That is not sufficient to sustain their life. There he took a task and again fought against the British imperialism. Second time in India, he used the weapon of Satyagraha against the British colonial domination. There he succeeded. Then with these two movements, in South Africa, he fought against the apartheid and racial discrimination. In India, in these two places, he again used the weapon of Satyagraha against the colonial domination, colonial suppression, and he became a national leader with these two acts in India. And after that, Gandhi, he went around all India by train, and he have seen the village life, he have seen the urban life, he have seen the common man problems. Then with that visit, what happened? He came to know the reality of India. Subhash Chandra Bose, Jawaharlal Nehru, Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel, like all these national leaders, already they were plunged into the movement. But Gandhi, he realized, he invented a unique, universal method to fight against the domination is Satyagraha. Means fight with the true spirit. In 1919, government sensed that all India are becoming awakened. Now everybody becoming consciousness about the racial discrimination and getting consciousness about the British exploitation. And everywhere leaders have been organizing their protests against the British colonial domination. So to control this kind of leaders, protests and everything, Britishers have came with an act in 1919, that is the Rowlatt Act. Or this is also can be called as a regulating act. According to this act, without any trial, without showing any cause, the government can arrest anybody at any time. This is what the act says. Against this injustice, brutal act, Gandhi gave a call to the nation that we should condemn this kind of act. In Jallianwala Bagh, there was a gathering taken place in protesting against this regulating act. There, General Dyer, he gave an order to the police people to fire against this gathering. Then, before firing, he ordered to close the stadium. Then he opened fire. There, what happened? Hundreds of people have died. Thousands of people have wounded. This act, what happened, became a big news at that time. Entire world, entire nation have shocked with this kind of act. Means the general there wanted to show to the nation that if anybody act or protest against the colonial domination, that we will retaliate in this way. With a gun, with a bullet, we will give the answer. This is what the message he have given with this. And at the same time, another important movement also have been running parallelly, that Khilafat movement. Khilafat movement means what? You see, that Khalifa was the head of the Islam religion. So these Britishers, colonial masters, they denounced his title. That the entire Muslim community started protest against the denouncement of Khalifa title. Gandhi also gave support to that Muslims. His importance has been increasing day by day, year by year in our national movement. In 1921, it seems that Bal Gangadhar Tilak have died. Then after his death, that no one was there to lead the entire nation, but that choice went into the hands of the Gandhiji. Now Gandhiji, after Bal Gangadhar Tilak, he became a national leader. Bal Gangadhar Tilak, he followed 2-3 important methods to fight against the Britishers, and at the same time he also tried to promote the unity among the Indians. He organized Sivaji festivals. He portrayed Sivaji as a hero of the nation, Maratha king. He also organized Ganesh festivals. That through that method, organizing that Ganesh festivals, he want to unite all the people at one place, and through that he want to fight against the colonial domination. But after his death, that Gandhi, he became so popular. Already he was popular, and he became popular, and he became a national leader. Later, he started non-cooperation movement in 1920s against the Regulating Act. Gandhi gave a call to the entire nation that in 1920s, non-cooperation movement means, suppose in your village if any police will come, would like to arrest you, then entire village should go to the, along with one person, all people. Why? Because he want to create a non-cooperation. If you want to arrest me, then you can arrest the entire village. Where they will put? Police stations will not be sufficient, no? Okay? So this is the way he showed his anger, his dissent by expressing the non-cooperation to the government orders, non-cooperation to the government officials and administrative orders. The same act he also did in South Africa in fighting against the apartheid. And next, in 1922, there was a small setback taken place in that non-cooperation movement, where in Chora Chauri, the people, what happened, they emotionalized, they set a fire to police. In that fire, what happened, 20 or 90 police, I think more than that, I think they have killed. The mob, what happened, set a fire on police and then they killed them. Then Gandhi sensed that, this moment I gave a call to the entire nation not to cooperate with the authorities, but not to kill the authorities. You see the difference between Gandhi gave a call of non-cooperation, but what the people are doing, they are killing. Means what he believed, Gandhi believed in non-violence, ahimsa. But here what is happening? Himsa is taking place in that movement. So immediately he called off that non-cooperation movement because it is turning into violent phase. That's what Gandhi don't want to compromise with this kind of non-violent act in his movement. Why? Because he is committed to his idea of satyagraha, ahimsa, non-violence. Immediately he called up. At that time, the entire nation have criticized him. Entire nation opposed his decision. Entire nation have denied that Gandhi's call to stop the non-cooperation movement. But Gandhi anyhow not compromised with the idea of Satyagraha. Then after that what happened? The Britishers, by the time 1930s, Britishers already started imposing lots of taxes on Indian goods. The taxes, even in simple terms, I'll tell you, even on salt also they imposed heavy taxes. Taxes on daily commodities, on industrial goods, on industrial products, Indian products especially. Naturally available salt also became so is a costly commodity in those days because of this imposing heavy taxes on this thing. Gandhi took a task that how come this is a naturally available salt. Okay, so natural resources, enjoying the natural resources is our birthright, basic right. Who are you to stop? So immediately he launched a movement in 1930s, Gandhi March. Gandhi March. He marched almost more than 75 kilometers from his ashrama to Dandi. He went to seashore and openly he disobeyed the order, he disobeyed the act of imposing salt and prepared the salt. He himself only went to the ocean and then took up the salt and then showed the way to how to disobey the orders of colonial masters. And this movement, not only from Dandi to Sabarmati to Dandi, entire nation, everywhere, all the people have been participated in this Dandi March. It became a big national movement where the British colonial masters with their force could not control this march. Everybody came onto the roads, you can see this. From 1914 to 1946, the period can be called as 1939. The period can be called as an interwar period. Here we need to recollect the developments taken place during interwar period. Why? At that time, it's very, very important period in the world as well as in India as well as for Gandhiji also. The entire world, you see, Germany fighting against the France. Mussolini have floated with the idea of fascism. Hitler from Germany, he floated the idea of Nazism. From Eastern Europe, Japan also have given much importance to the militarism and wanted to expand their imperial expansion in this Eastern globe. On the other side, America wanted to sell their weapons and wanted to make big money. Okay, so like this, the international, you see, on the other side in 1917 there was a Russian Bolshevik revolution. There was unrest against the Tsar autocratic and dominant rule. At this moment, you see, the entire world was clutched with the violence, clutched with the intolerance, clutched with, you see, utilitarian, majoritarian, dominant ideas. So that's, you see, Hitler told that Jews are our enemies. Kill them. He killed the Jews. Almost, you see, lakhs of Jews killed by Hitler. Mussolini also. He wanted to raise the prestige, power of the Italy. Then he floated the idea of Nazism. He don't accept the greatness of other people. He says that only Italians have only the eligible people in this world to enjoy. And Hitler also, he also promoted racial discrimination, advocated that Aryans are the great race in the world. The entire world can be ruled by only Aryans, not by any other community. On the other side in Russia, that because of Tsar rulers' oppressive, suppressive ruling, that the common man revolted against the autocratic rule. At that time, India was under the control of colonial masters, where Gandhi took a task fighting against the colonial masters with the weapon of Satyagraha, a tool in his hands. But after the war, Gandhi sensed that British power going to be deteriorating. Why? Because Germany defeated in the war, Second World War, Hitler have died, Mussolini lost his power, Japan, because of the Pearl Harbor attack, Japan also gone in Hiroshima and Nagasaki. You have seen that atom bombs also dropped on the Japan. With that, Japan gone down. America, because of this Wall Street crash, their economy gone down. Germany was suffering with the poverty, unemployment problem in Europe. And this entire world was in kind of a destructive way. At that moment, Gandhi, do you believe that Gandhi will say violence, use the violent words against anybody? But here exception is Gandhi gave a call to the entire nation that you do or die. Do or die. The word, you see, strong words used by Gandhiji to fight against the last fight against the Britishers. That can be called as a 1942 Quit India movement. In that Quit India movement, he gave a slogan to the entire nation that you do or die. So this is the fight need to be done. Deciding fight need to be done against the colonial domination. So with this fight, what happened? The Britishers surrendered to his weapon. So they are coming up with a gun. They are coming up with a barrel power. But he is going against the colonial domination with the tool of satyagraha, with the tool of ahimsa. But at last, he won the battle against the colonial domination in India, and at last we got independence in 1947 because of his efforts, because of his methods, because of his idea of non-violence, because of his idea of marching, because of his idea of non-violence. And his main objective was to crack down the colonial domination, but at the same time, he also introspected about the problems which were hampering the unity of India, strength of India, weakening the strength of India, called, you see, untouchability, women, fundamentalism, and conservatism. And fight for the origin rights and fight against the untouchability which have been practicing in India, women rights, and try to bring equality for women also. And he also advocated the unity between Hindus and Muslims, and not only Hindus and Muslims, with all the religions. And he told that God is there in everybody. Maybe everybody have their own ways and methods to reach the God, but one should respect other beliefs, other faiths also. He advocated that all faiths are equal, that tolerance must be there in everybody's mind and heart. This is what he advocated. Then, so altogether, we can see he followed the ideology of that non-violence, ahimsa, simplicity. Trusteeship means taking a responsibility of helping to someone. He became a symbol of simplicity, honesty, and accepting the mistakes done by ourselves. If you look at his autobiography, My Experiments with the Truth, in that book, he accepted his mistakes also. Should have guts to accept our mistakes openly. That's what he taught us. He told, my life is a lesson to everybody. You see, my life is an experiment. He experimented his life with the truth, with the honesty, with the trusteeship, with the simplicity, with satyagraha, with the truth. That is what the Gandhi ideology. Because of Gandhi, you see, Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, Nelson Mandela, Martin Luther King, you see, people are there. They right now also they were internationally influenced personalities, great personalities. Dr. B.R. Ambedkar is the father of Indian Constitution. Okay, that Martin Luther, father of you see civil rights. He fought for the civil rights in United States of America. Okay, and Nelson Mandela, he fought against the colonial domination in South Africa. He put jail in 25 years. He struggled 25 years after that. He also became a father of a South African nation. These are all the builders of the nation, builders of the humanity, builders of the social harmony. Gandhi influenced all these personalities. Though he might have some heated argument with Dr. B.R. Ambedkar on certain caste issues, but great people are greater. Why does Gandhi matter today? Why? Because you see, his methods, his ideas, always practicable. Even today, politicians also have been practicing the methods of Gandhiji. So now all the politicians, social activists have been following the Gandhi methods only, ahimsa. You cannot apart Gandhi from India nation. So he has given a great message to the fanatics, conservative, traditionalists, liberalists, democrats. His life it itself gave a message to each and everybody, even for small kids. Okay? And now you can see, nowadays, look at the politics in India, polarized. Everywhere, passive violence. This is the age of social media violence. This is the age of social media intolerance. You open the social media, the language they use in that social media. Am I right or not? The critics, this is what, that is now we are in that age. In the beginning I told you, we are so advanced in using the technology, but at the same time, we are also deteriorating our humanity. Now human beings are being dying. It's in this case, Gandhi relevance is there to invoke the humanity in everybody's heart and soul.
Good afternoon, everyone. It is my privilege to propose the vote of thanks on behalf of the Department of History and Archaeology for today's discussion forum seminar. First of all, I would like to express our heartfelt gratitude to Professors Dr. Doneti Sivaji for your valuable guidance, inspiring thoughts, and for leading today's discussion with such depth and clarity. Your words have truly encouraged us to think critically and explore history from new perspective. A special thanks to the students of first and third semester for your active participation and keen interest. Lastly, heartfelt appreciation to everyone who worked behind the scene to ensure the smooth conduct of this program. Once again, thank you all for making this seminar a successful and enriching experience. Let us continue to engage in such academic discussions that help us grow as learners of history.